Black Power, greetings, loved ones. We, the Africa Town Coalition, are still collecting signatures to rename our community Africa Town. We appreciate all of you who have been signing the petition and giving us all around support. It is highly favored in the community. We still have over 200 signatures that we need, so we're going to go for about 400 more signatures, as a lot of them are usually dismissed for different reasons, whether they are not registered to vote, or in this case they might not live in the area that qualifies them. This particular area, the border on the west is Crenshaw Boulevard, on the south is 46th Street, on the east is 8th Ave, and to the north is MLK King Boulevard. So if you have not yet signed a petition, we need you to do so. If you have signed a petition, we need you to pick up a blank and get your neighbors signed up. Also, those of you who have voted for Herb Weston, Marquise Dawson, Kerner Price, we need you to reach out to them and let them know this renaming of your community to Africa Town, something that reflects you, is something we need. There are a lot of benefits that come with it in addition to just renaming it, so please reach out to them and encourage them to get involved. Tomorrow, some of you may have heard a white militia group known as the Oath Keepers intend on showing up and occupying Maxine Waters' offices, both here in LA and in Washington, D.C. Maxine Waters is a congresswoman who has represented this area, and our coalition, we have people on both sides of the fence with Maxine Waters. We have people who love and support her, praise her. We have people who critically believe she has been misrepresenting our community. However, tomorrow, we as a coalition will show up in protection and defense of our community and people. That is why we will have a presence tomorrow. We do not welcome white militias, white terrorist groups, and just as we stand against the LAPD, the LA County Sheriffs, who terrorize our people, we will have a presence tomorrow to let white militias, very likely hate groups, know we not going for it. Oath Keepers, I am including a link to their website where they announced or put out this call for their supporters and white supremacists in general to come and occupy Maxine Waters' offices. So we are putting out the call for those of you in the community to come and stand with us, just like you did over a decade ago when we stood in Kamathi Park against the Minutemen. And the Minutemen had planned on coming, similar reasons, to put out a call in our community for blacks to come stand with them against Mexicans at that time. And politically, we can go into a lot of these issues, but this right now is not the time or place. As I said, we as the Africa Town Coalition will be standing out there tomorrow to protect the interests of the black community, as Maxine Waters' office is located on Broadway and 101st Street, where we still have a lot of our brothers and sisters. We as black men and women will be going out there tomorrow to let the world know whatever issues we may have with each other. We are not going to allow any white supremacist group to come in and address one of us, just as the white community is not going to allow any of us to go and hunt down George Zimmerman, do as we choose to do to him, or Darren Wilson, or any other white psychopaths who have violated us. White law enforcement will not welcome us and allow us to do that. So we as brothers and sisters in our community are going to let it be known we are not going to have or tolerate any white shenanigans in our community. This Friday, there will be a second meeting concerning the Crenshaw Metro Rail project's effect on black businesses in our community. A lot of black businesses have been shutting down, specifically in relation to the amount of traffic that has been cut down due to the Crenshaw Metro Rail project. Initially, a lot of us were told, misinformed, that all the businesses were receiving funds to help them keep their doors open. So we were questioning why were some of the businesses shutting down and going out of business, and we were being told that even though some of the businesses were being given funds to keep their doors open, it was not allowing them to make profits to, you know, pay their rent, pay their mortgage, and do other things that most businesses make a profit for. So last Friday we were informed that that was not the case. A few businesses showed up. Minister Tony, the Nation of Islam, actually called these meetings, and the first meeting took place at Harrison Ross Mortuary, where about 4 weeks ago, a lot of you know, we had the wake for our great brother Mac Capone there. And when we had the wake, we noticed that the closure at Crenshaw and Vernon did interrupt a lot of people getting to his wake. You know, we were told one person actually showed up but didn't make it to the mortuary because he couldn't figure out how to get across the street. Other people told us they just couldn't locate it because of, you know, all the rerouting that took place. So we know for a fact it has hurt business there at Harrison Ross. We heard from both of the owners, and they shared they were told they didn't qualify for the funds from Metro because the funding from Metro is for small businesses, and one of the criteria is that it has to have 25 or less employees. But because Harrison Ross has multiple locations and over 25 employees, not at the one location there in Africatown, but because in total, out of all of their locations, they have more than 25 employees, they did not receive the funding. Another sister who owns the Ivy League Christian School on Crenshaw came and shared that she was told she didn't qualify for the funding because she had the word Christian in the name of her business. Another brother who owns a motorcycle shop came and shared his experience. So there are a number of businesses that are hurting, few businesses that are gone already. A brother who is the president, I forgot the name of his company, but they are kind of the middlemen between Metro paying the funds and the businesses receiving the funds. He came and shared information that over 85% of the businesses along the Crenshaw corridor have received the funding. He tried to state he reached out to some of these businesses and explained to them how they could qualify for the funding. Some of the businesses shared that's not necessarily the case, so different individuals going to fact check the information this brother shared last week and see whether or not he's legit. But again, we the Africatown Coalition hold the position our solution to this and most of our problems is us. Period. We need a period point blank, as Mac Capone would say. Period point blank. We need y'all to come out and support our businesses. You know, we've helped build up Santa Monica, Universal City Walk, Venice, Hollywood, all these other communities, Beverly Hills. It's now time to invest in our own, y'all. It's past due time. You know, we see right there in the center of Africatown, when the businesses come together and put on an event, people come out, even with the street closures. So we know that very likely could be part of the solution, but it's those of you seeing this video helping us to promote these businesses. I'm including the blacklist, which includes some of the businesses right there up and down the Crenshaw corridor, some of the businesses on Degnan, right there in the heart of Africatown. We had two sisters come and speak. One of our sisters that own Aki Bamboo, the Jamaican restaurant, basically said, you know, with Crenshaw being the major street right around the corner, it's affecting her, but also right there on Degnan, they've parked a lot of trucks during business hours. They actually have a sign saying the road is closed. Sister Queen Amina, who owns a clothing shop, she's also with the Nation of Islam. She came and shared her experience. So, you know, in the surrounding area, this is having an effect also. But again, us getting out and supporting our own is the solution. And lastly, a call for a national prison strike has gone out. It's gaining a lot of momentum. is going to take place from Black August 21st to September 9th. As some of you may know, those are two very historical dates. Black August 21st being the birthday of the great General George Jackson, who held the prison rebellion back in 1971. But also Black August 21st being the beginning of the Nat Turner Rebellion, also being the beginning of the Haitian Revolution Rebellion. So very significant date there, and ending on September 9th being the anniversary of the Attica Prison Rebellion. So those of you who are incarcerated and seeing this, brothers and sisters on the inside are asking for more of y'all to get involved. One of their frustrations is that so too many of you who are incarcerated are not participating in these work stoppages and strikes. Some folks even engaged in hunger strikes. Back in 2016, when the first national call went out from the Free Alabama movement and others, there were sisters out here in California who were refusing visitation from their families, y'all. And y'all know that's one of the big things when folks is locked up, to get to see their loved ones. But these sisters were so about it, they were turning down visits from their family. They were turning down visits to go to the doctor. You know, folks love any trip they can get out the prison, get out their cell. But these sisters were refusing to go get medical treatment. They were refusing to go to court, you know, to fight their cases. So that's how hard folks are going. And some of the brothers who organize these strikes, they are getting serious repression, beaten, isolated, thrown in the hole. So more support is needed, y'all. One of the parts of the call is to not use the phones during that time, as the phones are one of the major ways they're ripping off families, to not send commissary. And that's something, you know, you got to talk with your loved ones about, because some folks are saying yes, some folks are saying nah, because they need them products. But again, commissary is another way they're exploiting families who are locked up. On the outside, it is many corporations who are exploiting and profiting off of prison labor, who we have to boycott. The Atlanta Black Star put together a very nice compilation of, I believe, 13 of these corporations, and 10 of these corporations, y'all, some of y'all use daily or at least 2 to 3 times a week. So it's going to be a sacrifice. But again, Black August 21st to September 9th, that's what, 2, maybe 3 weeks? Come on, y'all. To end modern prison slavery. You know, we can look in the past and see the ills of chattel slavery, but what's happening in these prisons today? We got more of our family locked up today on these prison plantations than we had on slave plantations. And when you understand the criminalization of our people, when you understand the war on drugs, when you understand a lot of the societal ills that have driven our people in there, you understand it's no different from when our ancestors were initially captured and enslaved. So your support is needed. That's gonna mean staying out of McDonald's, Mac Dog Food, staying out of Starbucks. You know, we was telling intellectuals 2 years ago to support it, and they was like, some of them folks deserve to be locked up. But look at y'all, now they locking y'all asses up for sitting up in the spot. So come on, loved ones, wake up. But look at this list. I will include it on this video. If you patronize any of these corporations, y'all, cut it out. All right. Also, I'm include the video for include the address for the meeting this Friday about the Crenshaw Metro Rail's project effect on black businesses. It will begin at 7 p.m. at Harrison Ross this Friday. I will include the address. I will also include the address for tomorrow, when this white militia group announced they're going to show up in Maxine Waters' office right here in South Central. Some folks are saying, you know, it's just a political thing. Some folks are saying Maxine, you know, played a role in this to try to get more support and get more people voting for her and get her, you know, support for this run for presidency or whatever. But bottom line, we're not going out there for none of that foolishness. We're going out there to let it be known we are not going to have these white groups running up in our community, armed, unarmed, whatever. without some real resistance. So we need y'all to come join us. Black love y'all as always. Appreciate those of y'all who have been getting involved, supporting us. Black power. Long live Mac Capone.